didn't know why I came so far. Was I bound till I know these moments? And my way walked away, that I just got so sick of it. Then the way that I was from they give it I can see you no more. And you let it go.
Like from them, Dragon, Bird, double Africa, Dragon, blue shot pa lang! And a two-man! Laser!
Laser here, no! What Dragon does go into Messi side, there's Equalizer in the back line. That is actually, you know, a 5-man!
Alright, welcome summoners to the Pro Gaming Series 2016 Spring Split. I am here together with, syempre, wala na iba kundi si GS Amplifiers. Been a while na mapabalik ako dito muli sa ating casting desk. Pero, kamusta naman ang ating mga teams ngayon for this season na meron tayo?
Well, actually, sobrang excited kasi nga napakaraming bagong teams, yung Explicit, yung Celestial. Of course, they made a great showing nung previous weeks kasi nung first week and second week, mukhang medyo shaky sila. Pero ngayon, no, they've finally been able to show themselves, you know, Celestial upsetting Imperial Pro Team Blue. Tapos yung Explicit, tinalo din yung MSKI. That was very impressive. So I'm very excited to see na yung games natin ngayon.
Lalo na medyo bago-bago lang yung ating recent patch, no? I
Yes.
think 5.24 yung ating patch ngayon. And nagkaroon ng konting changes in terms of ating mga masteries and other items as well. I think yung isang magandang nagbago dito is yung sa gitna, I forgot yung pangalan nung nasa
Yung
gitna
Thunderlord's
natin.
Decree?
Yeah. Yung, actually, hindi lang yung feast na magkakaroon ng biscuit and yung isa may other option pa na pwede kang magkaroon ng bonus damage kapag solo champion kaya na top lane. So, favorable siya sa mga top laners talaga. So yes, mga kaibigan, for our first game ngayong araw na ito, we have the match between Team MSKI and Team Infuse. So Team MSKI and Team Infuse, what are your insights for this matchup today?
Well, of course, no, yung MSKI, everyone was expecting them to be the favorites na coming into the split. Siyempre, sila yung reigning champions natin, especially during Rampage 2015 na maraming nakasaksi ng victory nila over IPT. Pero, you know, coming into this split, nagkaroon ng change kasi yung forever na Yume mid laner natin, nag-step down na siya as main mid laner and Wind became the starting mid laner. And he's had a pretty good showing so far, pero there are still some questionable things that MSKI does now that they need to improve on. Yung Infused, definitely yung underdog dito sa match na to. They're newer. They didn't show so well nung previous split. Pero this split, they're looking a bit better. Actually, yung weight talaga dito ng Infuse is on JRM. Kasi siya talaga yung parang carry nila, yung AD carry.
I just realized, no, nung pagtingin ko ng mga stats nila before, sobrang laki nung impact ni JRM every game na meron sila. And nung recent match, yung pinakahuling laban nila dito, it was Toinks dominating the mid lane. Yun nga lang, hindi pa rin sila makakuha ng win for this game. Kasi ang isang napapansin ko dito for the Team Infuse is that they are pretty much relying on the power of the carry power of JRM in the bottom lane. Na yun ang magiging problema nila during the matchup dito. It was this time they're going against Team MSKI. Na alam natin kung gaano katindi yung performance nila ngayon, especially Wind right now. To be honest, mukhang itong si Wind din ang magiging power carry ng Team MSKI for this game. So we'll see what might happen this game. We have a best of 2 match sa araw na ito. So magkaroon sila ng 2 wins. They will have 3 points for the Pro Gaming Series.
Yes, and I can't wait to see exactly the Wind showing very well, especially his mechanics. Of course, he does not fall behind compared to the other mid laners in terms of mechanics. Pero in terms of macro play, MSKI has a lot to improve on, and hopefully we're able to see those improvements this game.
So bago ang lahat, mga kaibigan, stay tuned tayo dyan. Ito na ang ating first game. Let's proceed sa ating banning phase.
Alright, so this is the pick and ban phase. Ulit sa patch 5.24 tayo. Ito yung Poppy patch, no? Na hinihintay na marami. Ang dami nagsaspam ng Poppy sa solo queue.
Yata si Poppy, if I'm not mistaken.
Actually, sasabihin ko, sadly, hindi natin makikita yung rework na Poppy. Grabe, ang ganda na skins niya ngayon. Pero we won't be able to see any of that for this game. Though, we will see, of course, yung ibang changes na nangyari. For example, yung patch note changes, and of course, yung changes to champions and masteries will be in effect this game.
Okay, for first ban ng Team MSKI dito, they banned out Annie, and we have the LeBlanc as well sa kanilang lineup. Most probably to lock down the possible champion pick of tong si Toinks. I can say na ito ay respect ban for him since hindi pa natin nakikita na ginagamit niya si Annie sa ating Pro Gaming Series. Pero ang napapansin ko kasi, when it comes to the playstyle of Toinks, medyo hindi siya ganun kagamay sa mga champion na may mga ganito potential, no? With Annie and LeBlanc. Usually, yung mga ginagamit niya ng champion na magiging effective talaga siya is Syndra, na yung huling ginamit niya sa laban nila before. And I think, yun yung one of the reasons why they have to ban out these two champion to make sure that Toinks, hindi siya makakapag-dominate sa mid lane. And as much as possible, hahayaan nila again na si Infuse JRM lang ang mag-carry sa game na to.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, gaya na sinasabi mo kanina, yung si JRM being the main carry, baka maging problema siya siguro this for, actually parang strength and weakness siya at the same time para sa Infuse. Kasi they're all depending on him, pero anong mangyayari kapag nag-fall behind siya? Sino yung magbubuhat sa kanila? So they really have to make sure, no, na Infused, JRM definitely carries this game. Actually, I'm wondering nga kung ba't hindi pa binan ng MSKI yung Lucian. Kasi I find that JRM very much excels kapag Lucian yung nakukuha niya. Though, maybe, confident naman ni MSKI that their bot lane, consisting of EXO and Kaigo, yung mga veterans natin, can handle yung Lucian ni JRM.
The EXOGU. Combo na bottom lane. Medyo terrible. Medyo sobrang OP nung bottom lane nila so far, in my opinion, no? Knowing Kaigo being one of the legendary players sa ating pro scene in the Philippines. So right now, first pick of Team MSKI, they got Zac para kay TG. So what can you say about a Zac pick for this lineup? Medyo questionable to in my opinion.
Actually, Zac would have been questionable nung previous split natin. He was not seen a lot, no, with a lot of the other junglers like Echo and Elise being picked. Pero recently, coming into this split, no, in the recent weeks, medyo naging actually viable siya as a jungler. I definitely have no complaints over locking in a Zac jungle because hindi naman, well, yeah, parang he's okay. He's there. May presence naman siya, especially post level 6, he'll be able to deal some ganks. And you don't reveal too much of your strategy kung jungler yung unang nasa rotation mo. So it's not that bad.
So far, itong maganda, like what you've said, I think somehow effective itong magiging lineup nila dito. Pero hindi pa natin alam kung siya yung jungler or top laner dito for Team of MSKI. If ever they will have a Trundle, most probably for the top lane, so magiging jungle nga itong si Zac. Habang sa kanilang kalaban naman, we have the Infuse. Picking up an Irelia and Alizi dito sa kanilang lineup. I would say that Irelia, medyo effective din siya, no, sa ating current meta.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen her for a while sa mga dito sa ating sa mga changes natin sa mga masteries. So listen as well. Sobrang dami kasing mga champion na pwede mong gamitin ngayon for the jungle.
Yeah, that's actually true.
So, kung si Lee Sin man ang gagamitin nila for the jungle, which is most probably talaga si Lee Sin talaga gagamitin nila, I would say na ang magiging pressure dito for Team Infuse is how they will be able to utilize this kind of champion. Alam natin lahat na si Lee Sin is sobrang gamit before. Gamit siya nung Worlds 2015. And kung ngayon ay ma-utilize ng maayos ni Henchizo dito, I would say na maganda yung magiging possible na performance nila to win this match against the MSKI.
Yes, so I'm also looking forward to that kasi madalas yung mga effective deletion, sila yung mga may mechanical prowess in the game, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if Henchizo can help, especially ito si Irelia, no? Kasi si Irelia, she needs a bridge para maabot yung late game power spike niya. So they need to make sure that Irelia is farming well towards the mid to late game.
Alam mo, ang isa sa pinaka-interest na pwedeng mangyari dito ngayon sa araw na ito, sa laban nila dito, is that kung ano yung kukunin nilang mga keystone for this game. Ngayon, sobrang laki nung pinakita ng yung grasp, if I'm not mistaken, yung meron ng lifesteal.
Grasp of the Undying.
Yeah, yung grasp of the Undying, kung saan nagkakaroon ka ng lifesteal.
Yes.
Every 10 seconds or so. And I think percentage na ng HP mo. So malaki talaga yung effectiveness niya in the top lane to sustain that you can get during the laning phase. And also yung Thunderlord. Thunderlord na Keystone. Kung saan napapansin nyo na ngayon, I've heard it somewhere sa cast kanina dun sa All-Star na itong meta na ito or itong patch natin is the Thunderlord meta talaga.
Grabe. As in, lahat ng roles halos gumaga. I mean, well, of course, those who are centered around damage. Yung AD carries, mid laners, if you want, kahit tali mo sa top lane, okay lang eh. Kasi, actually, naawa talaga ako sa Ferocity Tree. Kasi yung Warlords, yung Fervor of Battle, tsaka yung Deathfire Touch, hindi na sila masyadong hinawakan, especially in this patch. No? Especially after binoff yung Thunderlords na naging 20 seconds na yung cooldown, tapos dinagdagan pa yung AD na percentage. Naawa talaga ako sa ibang mastery. So this is definitely
even the AD carries right now is going for the Thunderlord ngayon. Medyo nakakapagtakang isipin, pero talagang mas prefer nila yung ganong tree dito in this meta na meron tayo ngayon. So looking at the lineup, we have Kulit for Renekton, Yume. Kinuha niya ngayon si Trundle. Oops, teka. Yume is in the mid lane of Team Mineski ngayon.
Yeah, so we won't be seeing Wind in
Walang
this game.
Wind,
Which is, it's a throwback, no? Throwback, no? It's been a while
So
seeing
it's been a
Yume.
while na makita natin si Yume. Ito ba yung first game niya sa ating this
That
split?
I'm not so sure, but I believe this is his first game
This
in
is
the
his
PGS
first
so
game.
far.
So magandang laban ito. Medyo hindi aware ang possible, ang team ng Infuse sa possible na magiging playstyle ngayon ni
Yeah.
Yume na matagal-tagal din siya nagbakasyon sa pro
Yeah.
scene. So yeah, I think tignan natin kung kaya ba niyang maging in par with the performance of Winds last week or ano yung magiging performance na ngayon. Fizz ang kanyang champion dito, one of his favorite champions
of
in
course.
League of Legends.
Isa sa mga pinakakilalang Fizz players sa bansa natin, definitely si Yume. And I think, in terms of gameplay naman, hindi masyadong mababago yung style ni MSKI except yung isang point kasi na pinag-uusapan namin with Yume of MSKI is he's very consistent, no? Hindi siya yung tipo mid laner na mag-throw sa mid lane or masyadong aggressive. He's always just there, lagi siya present. Tapos, he's always there to be the strength that MSKI needs when they need him, no? He's always present.
Yeah. Instead of going for the top lane Trundle, ginawa nilang support sa Trundle for team of MSKI.
Yeah.
While for team of Infuse, looking at their lineup, they have a mid Victor against a mid Fizz. I would say na Victor could dominate him in the mid lane dito if ever natulungan ni Muchizo, knowing na yung playstyle nitong si Toynx ay hindi ganon ka-better in terms of yung kanilang gap sa skill with Yume. Pero we'll see kung ano yung mga possible strategy na magagawin nila dito for this game. So meron tayong 3-minute delay bago mag-start ang ating game. Let's look at yung most banned champions and most big champions as well sa ating pro gaming series so far.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the most banned champions here now. Gangplank with 69%, Lulu with 38%, and Dr. Mundo with 38%. These are all understandable. Yung Gangplank, hindi ko na masyado naiintindihan yung ban dito kasi medyo nag-fall off na siya. Siguro trauma ban na siya sa mga dahil sobrang lakas niya dati. But Lulu, of course, and Mundo, very understandable. Especially si Mundo has been rising in the meta recently since pwede siyang i-flex in both top lane and jungle, so it's understandable. Most picked, that's Brom and Mundo at 50%, and then Misfortune at 44%. Of course, Brom MF have always been there. Misfortune talagang nag-rise niyan into the meta with her recent rework, so it's really an understandable pick right there. And of course, Mundo, if he's not picked, he's banned. So, nandiyan naman siya. Highest win rate, Brand. Definitely, I'm surprised na hindi siya ulit kinuha dito, but he did get slightly nerfed. Tumaas yung mana cost ng kanyang Pillar of Flame, yung W, so that really reduced his power in the lane. So maybe he's not that strong as before.
Yeah. Pero yun nga, since 100% win rate siya, ang isang masasabi ko dito is sobrang tindi ng dilemma for Riot right now. Kung ano yung possible nilang gawin dito kay Brad. Knowing na kung kailangan ba nilang bawasan yung damage ng kanyang skill or yung AP ratio ng kanyang mga skills dito. Kasi kapag nasobran sila ng pag-nerf, ang laki na magiging epekto dito for Brad. So far, I think the best thing that they could do for Brad is to reduce the mana cost or to increase the mana cost of his skills.
Yes, exactly. And that's exactly what they did, no? Kaya medyo hindi siya he's not as strong as he used to be. Now, checking the player stats. So top KDA so far in the weeks of the PGS goes to IPT Blue Shadow with 7.67, and then top gold per minute goes to Hate, the AD carry of Imperium Pro Team. That's 460.6. Of course, Hate has been known to always split push, no, in Imperium Pro Team, so I'm actually not surprised na ganito yung GPM niya.
Wait, Shadow is a support or top?
Yes, Shadow is the support of Imperium Pro Team.
Very impressive, no? 7.67 KDA, knowing na he's a support player dito. We'll see kung ano yung magiging playstyle niya tomorrow. I think yung tomorrow yung laban nila dito.
Yes. Tapos yung top CS per minute is going to be MSKI Wind with 9.0 per minute, and then kill participation goes over to Naga Luxuria with 78%.
So kill participation, kung di ako nagkakamali sa lahat ng mga di nakakalam, yung kanyang presensya every team fights na nagkakaroon tayo dito. So yes, mga kaibigan, you're watching Pro Gaming Series 2016 Spring Split IPT Sphere together with GS Amplifier. This is the match between Team MSKI and Team Infuse.
Yes, so let's take a look. Now, again, we were saying earlier, MSKI, they are the reigning champions of the PGS. Yung Infuse, medyo underdog sila sa match na to, but we can't count them out just yet kasi gaya na sinabi na, JRM has really been one of the highlight players of this team. The question is, papayagan ba na MSKI na makakuha ng lead ito si GRM? Because like we said, MSKI, they carry this veteran experience now with them. They've been around. They were the only team of the Philippines to ever go to Worlds, and they've got a lot of experience now. And EXO and Kaiku, I'm sure they can give JRM a hard time in the bot lane.
Even itong team ng MSKI, ang dami rin nilang mga sinaliyang international tournaments under the table na hindi nakikita ng mga players natin na talagang nag-excel sila ng sobra, showing up their performances.
Yes.
But right now, Yume is playing once again at the MSKI na talagang sinabi nga natin kanina, this is worth mentioning, no? Hindi
Yes.
natin inaasahan na ganito yung mangyayari. I was expecting a win here in this game, pero we have Yume once again. Yume is still one of the legendary players as well sa ating pro scene dito. So I think in terms of the lineup na meron tayo dito for team ng MSKI, it's all about the tankiness that they have. They have the Trundle. You have three mini champions, Renekton, Zac, and Trundle. I think ang magiging pressure talaga ito sa team ng Infuse is how they will be able to burst down these three champions, knowing that they have the super burst Fizz and super burst Severe as well.
And of course, before we get to the Summoner's Rift, of course, we'd like to thank our sponsor, the shotmate of the PGS, the Booster C. Boost your focus, boost your game. They help us to get through the game kasi, syempre, 4 games to. Syempre, mga shotcaster.
Matagal-tagal din tong laban na ito. So, ito na mga
so kailangan
kaibigan.
namin ng boost.
Yes, welcome to the Summoner's Rift once again. MSKI versus Team Infuse. For the lineup of Team MSKI, you have top lane TG for Renekton, MSKI ulit for Zac. Sa kanilang jungle, Yume. We have for the mid lane as Fizz, EXO for the ADK role, Severe, and Kaiku, Trundle for the support.
Alright, meanwhile on the red side, that's going to be Infused Esports, Gertrude in the top lane with Irelia, Hechizo in the jungle with Lee Sin, Toinks in the mid lane with Victor. And for the bot lane, it's going to be JRM and Akil with Lucian and Braum.
Wow. The Team Fire icons being shown here.
Actually, sarap nga i-spam yan talaga sa mga games eh. Kasi ever since nawala yung Worlds na taunt, parang matagal na ako nakakamiss ng mga taunt.
Nakakamiss talaga, sobra. Actually, every time na nakakapatay ako ng champion for the top lane, ngayong meta na to talagang top lane yung focus ko. Kasi, I don't know, medyo, feel ko meron talagang something sa top lane ngayon na nagustuhan ko. And tinry ko rin si Papi kagabi. Unfortunately, hindi siya ganun naging effective. Sobrang hirap pa rin ni Fiora up until now.
Yes.
To go against a Fiora champion in top lane, sobrang hirap.
Yes. So we'll see how things go. Checking out the early game. So very passive so far. Walang nagsascout ng lane swap and I don't think there will be any. Kasi hindi naman necessary with EXO as Sivir and GRM as Lucian. So very defensive. Konti lang yung mga supports na sa PGS that go for Trundle support. And in general, hindi masyadong maganda yung performances ng Trundle support. Although, of course, it depends. Maybe MSKI has a game plan for this. But yung maganda din sa Trundle support is that actually, yung maganda kay Trundle in general, pwede siyang i-flex lagi. Kaya, nung unang rotation nila sa pick and ban phase, they brought out Zac, Renekton, and Trundle para magtataka talaga yung kabilang team. Kasi sa bato mga ito pupunta, si Zac ba yung top, si Renekton ba yung top, si Trundle. So, it was a pretty good pick and ban phase for them.
Yes, so right now, being very aggressive in the bottom lane, Infuse, Akil, and JRM giving the pressure for EXO and Kaiku sa laban na ito. He got stunned, mga kaibigan. They're trying to show kang their opponent sa laban na ito. And yes, mukhang magandang trade in the bottom lane, no? And here comes the initiation from Kaiku, mga kaibigan. He used that trophy. JRM taking so much damage. He used the heal. Wow. He was forced to use that heal.
Being used on JRM. So, like we said, no, kaya-kaya talaga namin MSKI na tapatan to si JRM in the bottom lane. They will not step back.
I think Kaiku used yung as his masteries itong Grasp of the Undying. Nakita ko nag-lifesteal siya. So, medyo in terms of yung sustain nila in the bottom lane, they have the advantage dito. Kapag ginamit niya yung kanyang yung Ancient Relic, every time na he used that one and he hit yung either or yung mga minions dito, meron silang regeneration for his champion and for his teammate.
Yes, exactly. Kailangan talaga lang mag-sustain in this bot lane kasi Lucian, no, definitely a duelist AD carry. And kung mapuli ka out of lane, sobrang mahihirapan ka talaga na maabutan yung power spike mo. So they really have to sustain in lane.
Yeah, so aggressive in the top lane dito. Same with Gertrude. He has the grasp of the Undying, some keystone sa laban na ito, and he's getting the lifesteal that he wants. Hechizo trying to get the top lane dito. THD was forced to flash out, and he goes down. Napakagandang pag-gak just in time from Hechizo dito.
Just a bit too over-aggressive na itong si TG at the top lane. Pero mukhang mananalo dapat siya sa duel na yan. It just so happened na just in time to si Hechizo to make it for the gank.
Saktong-sakto. Still, they have the teleports na kailangan nila if ever that they need to respond in the mid lane or the top lane.
Oops.
Sa mga pagkakataon to Hechizo, use that ward and jump in. Walang initiation na nangyari in the mid lane.
Yeah, just playing it safe. Siyempre, ayaw mo mag-snowball yung Lee Sin na yan kasi siyempre, I mean, if you guys recall yung game, I think that was game 3 between SKT and Ku Tigers kung saan yung jungler nila gumamit ng Lee Sin. So got so fed na sobrang nahirapan yung SKT and they lost their first game during Worlds because of that. So you don't want Lee Sin to go snowballing into this game, which is actually exactly what Infused wants. So they have to be careful.
He's taking 2 tower
my.
hits mga kaibigan na top lane dito and he has to go back. Grabe. You can take 2 tower hits against a 1v1 sa 1v1 lane sa top lane.
Sobrang aggressive. Actually, masyadong aggressive talaga ito si TG in the top lane. Tapos a mechanical mistake there, no? Ideally, Renekton dapat yung on top of this matchup. Pero dahil sa mga maliliit na mga mali na yun, he ends up staying behind. And now he's forced to, you know, step back from his aggression. At actually, si Gertrude yung in the lead in terms of CS.
Yeah, at ito yung isang napansin ko dito, no? Gertrude, kahit hindi siya ganun ka-aggressive, playing it safe na top lane, lamang pa rin siya sa CS dito. TG, nakuha siya kanina after the gap coming from Lee Sin. At yun ang magiging pressure sa kanya dito. How will he be able to keep up against Gertrude in the top lane knowing na ang laki ng CS na nawawala sa kanya?
Yes, and si TG can't afford to fall behind kasi when the Renekton starts to fall behind, you won't be tanky enough para ma-absorb yung damage ng kabalang team. Tapos kulang ka pa sa damage. Renekton needs to be slightly ahead in this lane to be useful para sa MSKI. Kasi natatakot ako para sa MSKI. Despite having so many tanks, yung late game damage nila is a bit questionable. Both si Sivir at si Fizz, magpa-fall off yan into the late game. Meanwhile, itong composition ng Infused, they have Irelia and Victor to deal a lot of damage sa late game. So if MSKI keeps giving away these small leads during the early game, papayagan lang nila ng papayagan yung Infused na mag-scale towards late game. MSKI has to really put their foot down and get a lead in early to mid game.
Indeed, mga kaibigan, here comes the passive skill from Akil dito na bottom lane. Hindi nag-proc. One more hit sana for EXO dito, JRM. Medyo nagkakaroon sila ng konting miscommunication in terms of who they will initiate first. Kulit mga kaibigan, nag-charge ang kanyang elastic band here. Top lane dito, Gertrude taking so much damage. He has to go back. Wala pa rin siyang flash to disengage. And napilita mag-flash doon. Yume, meanwhile, they used the Raging Tiger. He was exhausted. Oh, it's a turnaround mga kaibigan. Wow, Toinks made it somehow here in the mid lane, securing another kill against Fizz dito.
Actually, dapat nung hinagis na ni Yume yung ult niya, I think he should have already engaged. Pero yung ginawa niya, naghintay pa siya, tapos tsaka siya pumasok. That was a feeling.
Oh my! Lumilipad mga kaibigan si Kulit dito from the backline. He used the rubber tanking champion drag. EXO in the bottom lane, he got exhausted. They're chasing him down. He has to go back. And ayun na, nag-survive sila in the bottom lane dito. Grabe yung ginawa doon kanina ni Kulit. Nagulat talaga ako.
Pero MSKI, they're looking a bit shaky right now. Medyo nag-overcommit sila. They're making wrong decisions and giving away these small leads to Infused. Although, granted, nakakuha naman ng revenge tong si Kulit sa mid lane. Pero, yun, like we said earlier, MSKI can't afford to be giving Infused the lead. Dapat sila yung take the lead in the early to mid game. Kasi if their composition allows this game to fall off into 30 plus minutes, Infused damage might be too much na for MSKI to handle.
Yeah. I think, alam mo right now, medyo questionable na yung pagkuha mo ng Shin as your first item. Kasi yung effect na maganda na lang sa kanya ngayon is that you will have the bonus damage once you used a skill. Pero unlike before na meron siyang AP bonus as well. Pero ngayon, I think mana na lang yung makukuha mo sa kanya. So it's kind of questionable to pick that item as your first?
Actually, I have not used Fizz in a long time, so actually hindi na ako sigurado kung ano yung build path niya dapat. But I would agree, Sheen medyo hindi na siya naging AP or mid lane centric item. So I'm not sure what. Well, definitely Yumi will probably build Lich Bane after this.
He's still opting for a Lich Bane dito, most probably.
I'm just not sure what kind, kung gaano ka-efficient siya ngayon compared to before, definitely kasi nawala nga yung AP na bonus niya. So it will not really help him in the laning phase. See how things go. No Dragon or Return taken yet. Although I would expect kung may kukuha ng Dragon dito na mas maaga, it would be infused. Kasi Lee Sin and Irelia could definitely take that. Zac, medyo level 6, post-level 6 na siya malakas. Although they are already almost level 6, so we should be seeing action in Dragon soon.
I think ang isang magandang nangyayari sa bottom lane 40 minutes is that even though malaki yung nagiging yung possible na power carry nitong bottom lane ng Team Infuse is that ang laki ng CS gap, 20 CS gap for Severe right now, for EXO. Kahit na hindi sila ganun ka-advance. Right now, ito yung, I think, ito yung ngayon ko lang napansin na ganito na. Kalayo yung pagiging advantage dito mga kaibigan. Teleport for both the top laners. Akil got caught. He was blocked by that trophy. And nagpinapit na mag-stop. But here comes the elastic slingshot. Napakalayo from Kulit dito. He used the ultimate skill. He used the let's bounce as well. Don't take so much damage. He goes down for the members of Team MSKI dito. And they're pinging the Dragon.
Yeah, Toinks overextending there. Wala siyang vision on the river side. At nakita na niya na maraming teammates dun sa bot side. So siguro naging overconfident siya na maraming teammates sa bot side. He had no vision. He shouldn't have been there. Good job na from Kulit to really punish Toinks for positioning so far. Sadly, nag-fail yung bot lane TP na yan. Actually, I think masyadong advanced yung call na yun. Si Akil was at level 6. So kahit nalan niya yung Q niya, he couldn't use the ult to knock him up. Dapat siguro medyo mas late yung call nila for TP. So nasayang lang yun.
Yeah, ayun nga, yung napansin ko din doon, sobrang medyo natagalan sila na pag-teleport. It could have been better kung medyo maaga-aga.
Yeah. Plus masyadong halata yung ward. Kita-kita siya. If anything, that ward should have been in the bush para hindi nakita na nagtitp itong si TG. Or rather, si Gertrude.
So visible talaga sa kanila yung pag-teleport na yun in the bottom lane kanina. So right now, 10-minute mark, 3-2 score in favor of team ng MSKI. Same with kanilang goal difference, no? It's not that
it's not that big. Kasi yung early to mid-game spike dito ng MSKI, nanenegate siya ng aggression dito ni Hechizo eh. So he's able to put in a couple of ganks. Although Gulet is actually also really showing his presence no, in the lanes to make sure his laners are safe. And so far, this CS lead talaga sa bot lane medyo nakakatakot niya para sa Infused. Kasi GRM ideally should be staying even or getting a lead over MSKI.
Yeah, here comes the charge. So, busy elastic slingshot. Yeah, he got Gertrude dito mga kaibigan. Wala siyang let's bounce. He be able to pick this one up. They're chasing him down. 2 flashes has been burnt out. Sorry, 1 lang pala dito for Kulit only. But didn't manage to get the life of Gertrude in the top lane dito. Bot against in the bottom lane. EXO took a lot of damage as well in the bottom lane dito. He used the ultimate as well. Exhausted si JRM dito. But they managed to pull up 1 kill in the bottom lane. Kaigo, will he be able to pick up the life of JRM? Yes, JRM goes down. TJ goes down as well in the top lane. It's a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Team Infuse. Right now, Kaigo still chasing down Akil. Kapag nagamit niya yung kanyang Q, he will slow itong si Akil. Pinlock ng kanyang trophy dito. And of course, Yumi is there to stop him.
So that's a 2-for-2 now. 1 kill at top lane for Infused. They were able to take TG. And then EXO goes down at bot lane. So even pa rin, yung mga exchanges natin, there's aggression all over the map so far.
Grabe, medyo nakakagulat na after what is happening in the mid lane, there's another team fight in the bottom lane and then the top lane as well. Kaya, ang hirap na sabayan itong mga pangyayaring ito. But yeah, medyo maganda yung magiging palitan ng mga players natin.
So far, it's looking very even. And Infused, showing that they can really match MSKI so far. So yun lang in terms of lane phase pa to. So we're not sure yet how Infused will show in terms of macro play. Yun nga lang, yung MSKI, hindi naman din masyadong kagaling yung rotations nila so far in the previous weeks. So we'll have to see how things go as we reach the mid-game. Sadly, behind pa rin talaga ito si GRM in terms of CS. So he's really gonna have to catch up.
So right now, Team MSKI deciding to go for the bottom lane dito. Akil trying to jump out, mga kaibigan. Oh, the elastic slingshot and let's bounce as well. JRM taking a lot of damage. Will he be able to pick this one up? Yes, one more hit. He goes down. Kaigu, will he? Goes down. Oh, mga kaibigan, habol sa Exo dito. Exo! Wow, the first damage coming from Hechizo is just too much for him.
Wow, so
Nakakagulat.
2 for 1. Will he get bullet? Okay. Oh.
Medyo din, nice attempt, no?
Nice attempt.
Pag-fight
Smite,
and then
tas Q. Oh well.
Q.
It's
Medyo
okay.
mataba yung champion. I mean, yung minion na yun. Look at the true damage coming from Gertrude here in the top lane.
Kung ano yung nawawala kay JRM na pupunta kay Gertrude. So good thing, no? Na nakakuha ng lead si Gertrude at the top lane. So far, even if JRM is slightly behind, si Toinks naman tsaka si Gertrude nakakalamang so far. Although, Toinks is staying even, that's what matters naman. Kasi Victor doesn't have to get a lead as long as he can see us evenly and reach late game.
Yeah. Alam mo, Amplifier, and tingin ko lang, what can you say about the Kal item?
Everyone hates Call. Yun ang masasabi ko. I
Kasi-
was reading, sino nga ba yung nagsabi nun? I think that was, I forgot which
Oh,
caster.
bago yan, nagkaroon dito ng flying fish, mga kaibigan, coming from Yume. Gertrude, taking so much damage, he goes down. Wow, the first damage from Yume. Even though he is Irelia, grabe pa rin yung damage siya dyan.
Hindi pa rin
Well,
talaga tanky itong si
looking at his
Gertrude.
items, he's opting for priority Trinity Force. So, no
yeah.
questions asked about that.
Yeah, so he will take a while to get tanky now. And Yume, definitely ito yung dapat ginagawa ng MSKI. They should be spreading aggression all over the map, taking objectives and getting a lead towards mid-game. Yun talaga yung isa sa mga win condition dito. They still will do fine in late game. It's just I'm worried na yung damage nila might...
Wow! He have to use that skill, mga kaibigan. Teleport in the bottom lane coming from Gertrude dito. Gertrude, hindi na naman siya umabot. He used the gap closing ability, ngunit hindi pa rin enough. He used the ignite for Exo dito. And wow, a kill! What a turnaround, mga kaibigan! One more hit! No good.
Na,
Almost
sobrang
there.
awkward talaga ng TPs ito ni Gertrude. Laging late, tapos laging walang nangyayari. They end up giving away top tower for that.
Yeah, here comes the initiation from Kulit against Hechizo. He used the let's bounce. TG flashing in. Wow!
nice.
He got kicked back. He used the Spirit Wing, mga kaibigan. To that Golem Hechizo. Will he be able to disengage? Nope.
That's a
That's
good try.
good enough, mga kaibigan. Kaigu against JRM and Exo. I mean, Exo and Kaigu against JRM. The bottom lane took too much damage. Wow!
Grabe.
He could have just back away siguro,
Yeah,
no?
now, MSKI now is now starting to punish the different decisions of Infuse. Yung TP talaga ni Gertrude was unnecessary. Wala sila nakuha doon. They end up giving top lane and getting a kill on Hechizo.
Oh, here comes the flying fish once again. And Toinks taking a lot of damage, mga kaibigan. He goes down. Wow, the fire effect. Yung kanyang death animation dito. Grabe.
Ang lakas ng burst.
Alam ni Kulit ang weakness ng Team Infuse dito. They have to focus down itong si Toinks na mid lane. And because of that, Yume can't do anything to win. Toinks can't go in par against dito kay Fizz in the mid and kay Yume.
So expected naman natin to, no? Irelia and Victor, matagal yan yung pag-spike ng mga champion na yan. So definitely, MSKI is only abusing that and taking all the objectives that they can. Kasi nga, mid-game, centered itong comp nila. They still will do fine in late game, but mid-game is really where they shine. 17 minutes in, wala pa rin kumukuha actually ng Rift Herald so far. And really have to commend Kulit so far, no, for very, very successful ganks. 3-0-4 so far, no deaths. And he's always been helping the laner so far. Actually, yung behind him dito is CTG and it's not even that bad. So, whoa.
Wow. Agad ng pagkaka-timing doon nung kanyang
Safeguard.
yeah.
So let's see what they decide to do. A lot of defensive vision coming in from Infused, spreading it around the red buff. Although, yun nga, wala pa rin nag-Rift Herald. We'll see if anyone decides to take it. That will expire at 19 minutes and 45 seconds. So, they still have around 2 minutes to take that objective. Though, MSKI starting to put around vision here. We'll see if they decide to take that and give it to probably TG. So that he can use it to split push at top lane.
So, medyo nakakapagtaka lang. Up until now, the Baron was about to spawn, pero walang kumukuha ng Rift Herald.
Yeah. So
But
far, it
mukhang
seems
narinig
like...
ako ng Team Mineski. They're trying to at least secure this one
Yes,
before
there
that
they go.
first Baron of the game was spawned.
So let's see which one they decide to give it to. I'm
Naku.
guessing oh no, the
Napuno.
patience. Okay, so I think they're gonna give this to TV, no, to use it to split push the top lane. If not, okay, hindi nila ma-juggle yung There
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
the buff.
Yeah.
Yung kailangan mong kunin, no?
Yeah,
yung
so-
recent, kasama yun sa recent patch natin.
5.24. Yeah.
Na hindi na kung sino yung naka-last hit ng Rift Herald that yung makakakuha ng buff dito. But whoever got that buff,
Item. Yeah, I think
the
that's
item,
Eye of the something, Eye of the relic or something like that. So para siyang, yeah, basically item na nandun. Imbis na yung last hit to go for the buff. And now
Saka
they're gonna be
ano,
pushing
no?
mid.
sa recent patch nakita ko rin yung kapag kinonsume ni Nuno yung
Yes.
meron
Yes.
siyang buff.
Oh no!
Pero grabe, tumalon na naman siguro. Napakataas ng talon. Kulit dito. Wow, Toink can't do anything to survive that one. Kulit, meron niya ba siyang passive? Yes! Kumalat ang kanyang mga dugo dito or ang kanyang mga alagad. So you may have to go back for a while and push that mid lane. They have the Baron buff or the Rift Herald buff dito for Kaiku. And yes, the elastic station from Kulit dito. And they're trying their best. Wow, they're through diving in, mga kaibigan. This 4th champion of Team Mineski. And it's a 2-for-1 exchange. They manages to get EXO, but hindi pa rin enough yun to secure their winning advantage
Yes,
in that team fight.
6,000 gold lead na ngayon. Yung Mineski and Dragon's coming up in 50 seconds. I'm guessing this is going to be Mineski's again. They have vision around Dragon. That was a good move for Mineski. They finally take the mid-game lead na in-expect natin na dapat i-take nila to win this game. The question is, can Infused make it long enough para makascale itong si Aurelian Victor? Kasi so far, JRM is really not looking to be the carry here. 1-4 so far on his KD and 1-4 as well for si Toinks. And in terms of gold, they are 2,000 gold behind their counterparts in lane. So it's looking scary.
Kailangan nila pag-isipan mabuti kung ano yung mga possible na gawin nila in the upcoming team fights ngayon, no? But ito lang masasabi ko is that 13-6 score, medyo malaki-laki na to, no?
Yes.
Right now, kahit sabihin mo na parang konti lang siya in terms of yung numbers nga, ang laki pa rin ng kill advantage na meron ngayon ng team ng Mineski. I think ang isa pwedeng gawin ng team Infused dito is to let JRM farm in the bottom lane. Na makakuha siya ng enough item na manalo siya sa trade against EXO dito. EXO sobrang taba niya.
Yes.
Infinity Edge and a BF Sword. And right now, going for the second dragon for their team.
Yung part na nalulungkot ako para sa Infused is that hindi ko naramdaman si Hechizo no early to mid game. In fact, if anything, mas naramdaman ko pa si Kulit instead of Hechizo in terms of ganks. He tried several times sa mid tsaka sa bot, pero siguro mga after level 6, parang si Kulit na lagi yung nag-gank. And that's quite sad kasi if you put Hechizo, JRM, and Akil together, sobrang lakas sa tatlo niyan during the early game. And ideally, dapat they should have taken advantage of that. Pero hindi nila nagawa. Nangyari, si Kulit yung nakakuha ng advantage.
Oh, they're chasing down JRM. JRM, tinamaan ng Flying Fishy.
Oh,
And it goes down.
wow.
Well, the boomerang coming from EXO dito. They're cleaning up the bottom lane, pushing this second tier turret. And yeah, na-block yung laser coming from before.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if Mineski will allow this to reach late game. It's gonna take a while for Gruncher to start getting tanky. Trinity Force is finally done. And TG is just trying to...
He's taking a lot of damage against Hechizo dito. How is Hechizo winning against TG? A top laner versus the jungler. He used the Dominus, but not enough to save himself in the top lane dito.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna give away this bot lane though. Walang makaka-engage dyan.
Gertrude, can he dive in though?
No, he cannot. So Baron is up now, and the Dragon was already taken. So far, it's 1-1 in terms of Dragons. Baron is definitely the next objective dito. If anything, if Mineski can secure Baron, this game might probably already be over. That's already a 6,000 gold lead for Mineski. So they can definitely take advantage of that. Napakataba na ni Fizz, actually. Ito si Yume, 6-1. He's already got Lich Bane, Abyssal, and a needlessly large rod.
So mukhang naging effective na sobra itong pads na ito for
Yes.
the corrupting potion for Yume in the mid lane. Somehow, ang ganda ng survivability niya in the mid lane during his matchup against Toinks. I can't imagine how a melee champion usually na mananalo against a ranged champion. But it's a Fizz and it's Yume as well.
Comfort pick yan eh.
Yeah, picking up that one item pretty much helped him na mag-survive with the
Especially in
mid-game.
terms of yung mga duels nila, no? He was always taking advantage and he did assassinate. Naka 1v1 kill siya kanina eh kay Toink, so that was a pretty good kill for him. And now he's 6-1 already. So we'll see if Infuse can take this mid lane. Whoop. Mind game.
Parang ano yun eh, parang slice and dice ni Renekton, no? Yung ginagawa niya. Back and forth. Pero yung ninja kick coming from Hechizo dito, trying to at least mind play their opponent. So right now, Yuumi is pushing the top lane. Split pushing the top lane is kind of unusual to see for the team MSKI ngayon. No? Pero maganda to for them, in favor of them. Wow, Gertrude! Took a lot of damage mga kaibigan. Wala siyang kahit anong magic resist item.
Oh,
That's
nice
why
kill.
he took a lot of damage against Yuumi. Nasunog mga kaibigan sa elastic. Slingshot once again has been used by Kulit, but parang ang layo ng range ng electric slingshot na yun.
Sobrang layo talaga.
Oh, Kaigo
no.
took a lot of damage. You don't have the ultimate skin to survive. Dito, dominance been used by TG. Hechizo, kicking them far away sa laban na ito. But sobrang lalim ni JRF at he goes down mga kaibigan. Kulit, sinasalo ang damage from that turret. Really be able to survive this one. Yes, naging lansang mga Jellies na naman ito si si Kulit dito, and because of that, it's an ace for their team. 19-7 scored. They're napaplashout siya doon. And they have to go back with it for a while.
Medyo awkward yan, pero that was a good job na from Kulit to zone out si JRM during that team fight. Hindi siya nakadeal ng damage. He was forced to flash out and dash out. Meanwhile, TG and Kulit so free to just take down JRM, and honestly, at this point, wala na masyadong silbi si JRM. He was not able to take an early to mid-game lead. Ang pangit ng items niya compared to EXO, and it's already reached a point na hindi na talaga siya masyadong nagdi-deal ng damage. It was a really good job for MSKI to stay even and then get a CS lead. On top of that, grabe yung gap nila kanina during the early part of the laning phase, and that really helped them to shut down JRM na ideally, sinasabi natin siya yung dapat na carry in this game.
Medyo nakakatawa lang yung yung performance ngayon ni Kulit.
Yeah.
With this champion na si Zac, sobrang YOLO niya. In a sense na, so siya lang mag-isang tumalon dun sa likod for the backman of the team. Hindi mo naman yung nagawa niya dito. Just by saying that one, Toinks used the Zonya Tower Glass to disengage. However, won't be enough to save himself dito. Kulit trying his best to engage and slow them down. Infuse disengaging sa laban na ito. Wala silang nakuwang champion and nabitas si Toinks. Because of that, I think Team MSKI could get either that Baron or this third sila sa laban na ito, mga kaibigan. Gertrude, not wasting any time, mga kaibigan. He's disengaging. Kulit, once again, dived in. The Zonya's Harkas has been used by Yuumi dito. He used the jump. JRM goes down, sobrang burst damage. TG, Dominus, mga kaibigan. Na-kill, naiwan dito. Hechizo as well. And it's another ace for Team MSKI to win this game.
Grabe. So really, the gold lead is too big. 53,000 to 4. That's 13,000 gold ahead, and MSKI is looking, to put the underdogs in their place and really secure this game. I'm not even probably after this inhib, they will take Baron, or will they finish the game? Oh no, they can't. The death timers are still a bit short, I think.
Yung death timers, tumataas siya pag around 40 minutes na ba ng game, or?
I'm not sure, pero yung alam ko, it's definitely longer during the early game, pero shorter sa late game. So around 30 minutes plus nararamdaman mo, medyo mas short na siya towards the late game.
So it's all about yung talagang yung objective na control ninyo sa laban na ito. So without the objective control, mahihirapan kayong masecure yung winning advantage hanggang sa late game. TG going to bottom lane to farm that minions. However, nakita siya ni JRM because of that ward.
And grabe talaga, behind yung Infused in terms of objectives. Hindi man lang nila napapaba yung top tsaka yung bot outer turret. Yung mid lane outer turret lang yung napapagsak ng Infused. So they were really behind in the lanes. They were behind, actually, halos lahat ng lane behind sila aside from the early top lane lead ni Gertrude. But aside from that, Hechizo was not able to help Toinks and Gertrude scale properly into the mid game. They're so behind already. And honestly, at this point, it's just a matter of MSKI finishing the game. Taking Baron.
Alam mo, there's amplifier, napansin ko lang na naka-rapid fire cannon na ito si Infuse JRM. Which reminds me yung ating recent changes as well na hindi na pwede pagsabayin.
Yung RFC tsaka static.
Yeah, yung static shiv and the rapid fire cannon. Which makes sense enough naman talaga, no? Pero meron pa siyang stackable damage before. nag-restock siya.
Ay, wait. Yung
Yung,
RFC?
yung bonus
Yeah.
damage niya. So,
Yeah.
that's why they have to...
Kailangan talaga i-nerf yun, actually. Nung una nga, nagtataka yung mga tao kung ba't pinayag ng Riot na mangyari yan. Kasi ideally, dapat talaga isang passive lang. Pero since separate yung names nila,
Sa bagay,
nagkaroon
it's a different
ng,
unique passive skills.
So,
yeah,
good thing
medyo...
they changed that.
I think Rapid Fire Cannon is a good choice as well for Illusion.
Yeah.
However, in this game, wala siyang enough damage to
Sobrang
utilize
late na
this
niyan,
one.
actually. Second full item pa lang yan. 28 minutes into the game. Meanwhile, si EXO already has 3 of his items full and ready to go. Baron being taken here, and walang vision yung Infuse dyan.
Hindi sila aware of what was about to happen in the game. But si Chizo trying his best to steal that Baron, mga kaibigan. Pero grabe shot from Yume.
Wow.
He flashed it. They will secure this one. No one from Team Infuse
Nice
can
try.
use the smite dito. Gertrude, lumaki mga kaibigan. And he will go down as well sa laban na ito. TG, you may use the hourglass. Akil trying to disengage. Naiwan dito si JRM to defend the base. And it's a double kill for Yume. They got the Baron buff. They could pretty much end this game.
Yeah, now Infused really has to think about the kind of composition they will run in the next game. Kasi in terms of the laning phase, the behind talaga si GRM. They have to be careful of what this bot lane is going to look like in the next game. Paano nga ba nagkaroon kalaking CS lead yung MSKI bot lane dito? Was it the champion picks or whichever? They really have to rethink. But right now, MSKI is gonna secure the first game of this best of 2.
Yes!
GG.
It's a GG well played for Team ng Mineski as well as Infuse. Congratulations, Mineski, picking up your first win for tonight. What a worth match between these two teams. Sobrang ganda naging performance sila dito. Hindi lang ang team ng Mineski talaga yung nagpakitang gilas for this game, but also the team ng Infuse. And I would say na in terms of our match history dito, talagang it's all about the ganks coming from Mineski kulit. 4-0-14.
Grabe
Very
yung
super.
kill participation in this game. Really helped na si Yume and EXO to really reach their power spikes na early to mid-game. Sinabi natin simula pa lang, dapat yun yung focus nila. They were able to get a lead. They were able to snowball lahat ng objectives. Meanwhile, putting JRM so behind, lahat ng win conditions na kuha nila actually for their team composition. JRM could not carry. Gertrude and Victor, no, si Toinks, they never were able to spike no, and get their items, and there was really no opening no, para sa Infuse to take this game.
Alam mo, kanina nung sinabi mo na hindi binanatin Mineski itong si Lucian, I would say na ang isa pang sinabi mo yatang reason is that they are confident enough that EXO and Kaigo could stop JRM from dominating the bottom lane. And yes, they did it pretty well. Hindi ganun karami yung gank na ginawa ni Kulit in the bottom lane. You have to take note of that. Pero nanalo ng mabuti o talagang na-utilize ng maayos nitong si EXO and si Kaigo yung kanilang bottom lane.
And this is very scary for Infuse kasi ito yung parang pocket pick na confident pick nila eh. Itong Lucian and Braum, it's what you bring out when you want to win. So now na sobrang tinalo na Mineski yung card mo na yan, yung tanong, anong gagamitin niyo sa Game 2 to get back into this game? And that's definitely what we want to look at for Game 2 between Infuse and Mineski.
So I think Infuse have to do something about their champion picks dito. No? Kailangan nilang baguhin yung kanilang mga lineup na gagawin in the next games kasi medyo basang-basa na ng kanilang kalaban yung mga strategy nila.
Yes. So wow, that was a great game to watch, and we're still gonna have another game after this. Again, it's still gonna be Mineski versus Infuse. This is gonna be Game 2, but Mineski gets another win for themselves. And then the set after that is going to be Imperium Pro Team versus Naga. But we're gonna take a short break, I think. After this, we're gonna be back in just a couple of minutes. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nanood ngayong araw na ito. Meron pa tayong next game mamaya. Again, I'm the Sphere, and I'm with GS Amplifier. You are watching Pro Gaming Series 2016 Spring Split. Kita tayo sa ulit mamaya.